All right, so today we're really digging deep into a career path. I bet most people haven't really considered um, tunnel boring machine operators.
Really gets the gears turning, doesn't it?
It does. We've got your research here, and honestly, it's way more interesting than I expected. I mean, we're talking about operating these massive machines underground.
Right. It's not just digging a hole. The
Yeah.
level of expertise involved is incredible.
Exactly. Like the career guide mentions controlling the TBM's cutting wheel, like the torque and speed.
Mhm.
What does that even look like in practice?
So picture this. You're underground, right?
Yeah.
And every meter, every foot, you've got different soil densities, rock formations. It's a constantly changing environment.
Oh, wow. So they're kind of like dot pilots.
Exactly. They're navigating this massive machine through the earth, and adjusting that torque and speed is how they make sure the TBM keeps moving at a steady pace. Too fast, and you risk damaging the machine, or even worse, a collapse.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I never thought about it like that. What about that screw conveyor they talked about? It's not just digging. It's got to move all that earth out of the way too, right?
Right. That screw conveyor is essentially a giant auger, like you might see on a snowblower, but on a massive scale. It pulls the excavated material away from the cutting head and channels it back through the tunnel for removal.
So that's how they keep the whole thing from caving in.
Exactly. It's crucial for maintaining the stability of the tunnel as they go.
It's incredible. And they're doing all of this while remotely installing those massive concrete rings that support the tunnel walls.
Yeah.
The level of precision and focus,
Mm.
it's mind-boggling. So we're talking high-tech equipment, potentially dangerous conditions.
Yeah.
What's it actually like to work in that environment every day?
Well, imagine this. You're not out in the elements, but in a climate-controlled control room, surrounded by monitors tracking every aspect of the TBM's operation.
Oh, wow. So it's not like what you typically picture with construction. Yeah.
Not at all. It's more like a spaceship. But instead of exploring the galaxy, you're charting a course through the Earth. But, the career guide does mention the confined spaces, potential hazards.
Yeah, that's got to take a certain kind of personality to handle,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. You need a cool head on your shoulders, got to be able to think on your feet, solve problems, and stay calm under pressure. Things can change in an instant down there. You could encounter unexpected geological formations, equipment malfunctions.
So it's not just about being tech savvy. It's about having the right mindset.
Exactly. Mental fortitude is just as important as technical expertise when you're working in that kind of environment.
So knowing all that, how does someone even break into this field? It's not like you just stumble into operating a TBM, right? Is there like a typical path people take?
Yeah, it's not exactly a typical career path. Most of the folks I've met in the industry, they've got this real passion for it, like a calling almost.
Wow, so it really is like finding your people.
Yeah.
But where do you even start? Are we talking trade schools, apprenticeships?
You're on the right track. The career guide actually lays out a pretty clear progression, starting with some formal education. That could be a technical degree or some kind of vocational training in heavy equipment operation, construction technology, maybe even mining engineering.
Okay, so you've got that foundation. What's next? Straight into the tunnel.
Not quite. It's more of a gradual process, kind of like learning to fly a plane. You wouldn't start with a jumbo jet, right?
Right. Baby steps first.
Exactly. Most aspiring TBM operators, they begin with apprenticeships or entry-level positions. They work alongside those seasoned professionals, learn the ropes, get that hands-on experience.
So those early days are all about observation, I imagine. Not exactly at the controls of a multi-million-dollar machine right away.
That's right. You might start by assisting with maintenance, learning about all the different systems, just observing how the experienced operators handle different situations.
I could see how that would be so valuable, not just for the technical skills, but for developing those problem-solving instincts you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. You're learning to anticipate problems, react quickly when conditions change. Because, trust me, things can change fast down there. It's all about teamwork, too, working effectively in a high-pressure environment.
So those early years really shape you into the TBM operator you'll eventually become. What about moving up the ranks? You've put in your time, honed your skills. What does that upward trajectory look like?
Well, as you gain experience, you might progress to operating smaller TBMs independently, and then eventually work your way up to larger, more complex projects.
And the career guide mentioned leadership positions too, right? Like
Yeah.
becoming a supervisor or even a project manager.
Exactly. Those opportunities are definitely there, especially for those with proven expertise and leadership skills. You could find yourself leading teams of operators, overseeing multiple TBM operations, maybe even consulting on major infrastructure projects around the world.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like there's a lot of potential for growth in this field.
Oh, absolutely. The demand for tunnel construction is only increasing globally, so it's a good time to be in the industry.
So we've talked about the skills needed, the typical career progression, but in a field this specialized, what can give someone a real competitive edge? I know you're a big proponent of RoleCatcher. Does that apply here too, even in this niche area?
Absolutely. In any field, knowledge is power, but especially in a specialized field like this one, having the right information and the right tools can make all the difference.
So how does RoleCatcher help with that? What makes it so valuable for someone looking to get into or get ahead in the world of TBM operation?
Well, it's more than just a job board, you know? It's a really comprehensive career development platform. Remember those career guides we mentioned earlier? Well, RoleCatcher has a whole library of them, and they're tailored to niche professions, just like this one.
So you can really drill down into the specifics of the TBM operator role.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But I was reading about how AI is really shaking things up in the hiring process these days. How does RoleCatcher help someone stand out when employers are using algorithms to screen candidates?
That's what's so cool about it. We're talking about a very specific skill set here, right? TBM operation, it's not your average construction job. RoleCatcher's AI is designed to actually analyze those job descriptions, what employers are really looking for, and then it helps you highlight the right skills in your application.
So it's like, even if you've got the experience, you've got to make sure the algorithms see it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having a secret weapon to get your foot in the door. But it goes even deeper than that. You can upload your resume, and RoleCatcher's AI compares it to successful profiles in the field. It can tell you if there are any gaps in your experience, or even just suggest ways to make your application stronger.
It's like a personalized career coach, but with the super brain.
I like that. It's all about working smarter, not harder. And speaking of which, interviews can make or break you. That's where RoleCatcher's AI-powered practice sessions come in.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. Is it like a mock interview, but with AI feedback?
It is. You can practice answering common interview questions for TBM roles and get feedback on everything your answers, how you're delivering them, even your body language.
That's amazing. No more guessing games. It sounds like RoleCatcher really arms you with the tools and information you need to succeed at every stage of the process, from figuring out if it's the right career path to actually landing the job.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to take control of their careers, And when you're talking about something as challenging and rewarding as TBM operation, having that edge can make all the difference.
This has been eye-opening, really. I had no idea how much went into this field or, frankly, how important it is. These are the people building the future, literally.
Right. Think about it. Tunnels are essential for transportation, infrastructure. It's a testament to what humans can accomplish and the incredible engineering that's happening underground. And as AI and automation become even more prevalent, who knows what the future holds for TBM operators?
It really makes you think. The next time I'm stuck in traffic, maybe I should be wishing I was a few hundred feet below ground on a TBM, helping to build a better way.
There you go.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, really. There's so much more to explore in the world of tunnel boring machines and the amazing people who operate them.
Absolutely. It's a hidden world, but a fascinating one for sure.
Well said. Until next time, keep exploring, and remember, even when it comes to your career, it's okay to dig deep.